What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've made my way down to Jaguar Land Rover, Porsche, Volvo of Greenville, and we're going to take a look at the 2020 Jaguar F-Pace R-Sport. Huge shout out to them for providing this vehicle for me today. Definitely check out their website. That will be in the description below. This one is finished off in Frenzy Red. It has an MSRP just over $70,000. Also, don't forget, for this month, we are doing a gift card giveaway. More details will be at the end of this video. Under the hood, this has a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It's only paired to the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. It'll produce 296 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 295 pound-feet of torque as low as 1,500 RPM. It is all-wheel drive, weighs just under 4,000 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds with a top speed of 135 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 21.7 gallons, you can expect to see 22 miles per gallon in the city and 27 out on the highway. This has an overall wheelbase of 113.1 inches. Its length is 186.3. It has a width of 76.2. Its height is 65 inches, and its ground clearance measures in at 8.4 inches. Starting up front, this has LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. You'll notice that the LED fog lights are nicely integrated into the lower section of the bumper, kind of hidden away, but give it a really clean design. As we make our way to the center grille here, you'll see a really nice piano black finish surrounding the mesh, and the Jaguar logo right in the center is nicely integrated into a front sensor. So I really like how they did that. It's a very clean design. As we make our way to the lower section here, you have the same mesh along with piano black in the middle section of the bumper, just giving it a good contrast against the red. You'll also notice the parking sensors are nicely integrated into the front as well. And then as we make our way to the sides, you'll see more piano black finish around the mesh to provide even more cooling to the engine. You can see large cutouts. And then to the sides of those, you have even more air inlets to help improve with better aerodynamics, and they have a really nice design to them. And then as we make our way up to the hood, you'll see there's 2 lines coming down the center of it, giving it a really nice bulge design. And then there's lines coming down the side with great contours, just to give it a little bit more of an aggressive look. And both of those lines also meet the front section of the grille here, giving it a really nice look. Moving to the side now, we'll start off with these wheels. They measure 22 inches. They have a 5 double spoke design to them, and they are finished off in a high gloss black finish, giving it a really nice contrast against the red. Just behind that, on the front quarter panel, you'll see the R-Sport badge along with Jaguar and the nice gloss black trim piece. Moving to the side mirrors, you can see the top section is body colored along with gloss black on the lower side. They are power folding and feature the integrated turn signal. You can see there's more gloss black trim on the back side of the mirror here, along with around the window, so it gives it a very nice contrast again, along with the section running in the lower side skirt. Up top, this has a full panoramic sunroof, and there's very clean lines that run down the side of the vehicle. You'll notice one that starts just behind this trim piece and kind of finishes off right in front of the door handle, along with a nice contoured line in the lower section of the door. And finishing off in the rear with the body-colored spoiler, it has the integrated third brake light, along with the underside of it being finished off in gloss black. You can see the wiper blade is mounted in the lower section of the glass to help improve with better visibility. This has LED taillights, your normal backup camera with parking sensors. It does feature a power liftgate. You can see down below it has a dual exhaust and a towing capacity up to 5,300 pounds. That's going to wrap it up for the exterior walk around on the 2020 Jaguar F-Pace R-Sport. I really like this red color, especially with all of the black accents. Just gives it a really cool design. But now let's go ahead and hop into the inside. I have the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket. I'll just place my hand on the door handle. It will automatically unlock. You'll see the mirrors fold out as well. Moving on to the door panel now, you'll notice there's black leather with white stitching running along the armrest. Just in front of that, we have 3 memory seating adjustments, along with your lock and unlock, and of course the grab handle just in front of that. Above that, we have the release handle, along with more gloss black trim surrounding all of that, and a bit of brushed aluminum as well. Up top is all of the window controls, along with the side mirror adjustments. This features a 17-speaker Meridian sound system, and then down below you have plenty of storage space for anything that needs to go there. Once inside the F-Pace now, we're going to take a look at these black leather seats. You can see the white stitching running down them, carries on from the door panel, of course, has very nice aggressive bolsters to them, and a nice pattern running down the center of them. They are heated and ventilated. They have a multi-way power adjustability. And then moving on to the steering wheel, it's completely covered in black leather with black stitching running on the inside. You have some aluminum trim pieces on both sides as well, along with R-Sport down at the bottom. And then of course behind it we have the paddle shifters. They're finished off in aluminum. Moving on to the buttons on the steering wheel, off and to the right side we have the heated steering wheel control, along with all of your cruise control and adaptive cruise control settings. Pushing on this button right here is for the lane keeping assist, turning that on and off. And then over on the left side, we have a mode button along with your Bluetooth and voice commands. And all of these on this pad will control the center gauge cluster here. We can look at a lot of information from your trip. You have your display, so you can go through your layout and everything like that. We can go into vehicle settings. You have your exterior lighting and security features, along with more vehicle information like your tire pressure, your last alarm. You can show any warnings if anything pops up. You have your media, your driver assistance, so all of the technology that's offered in this vehicle, from your speed limit awareness to your steering and collision avoidance. Off and to the left side, you'll see the speedometer along with the speed limit sign, and on the right side, we have the engine temperature and the tach. To the left of the steering wheel, we have the power tailgate release along with a dimmer switch for the gauges. There's one air vent with Jaguar nicely written out on the button to control them. And then coming across the center dash here, you'll see it's completely covered in leather. There's two air vents in the center along with the piano black trim piece. And then right in the middle, we have the 10-inch screen. You can see your navigation, your media, your phone. You can scroll over and look at your cameras, your valet mode, your seats, eco data, and you have some other voice commands and Bluetooth on the far page. Moving to the right side on the buttons down below, you can pull up a settings menu so you can adjust brightness and other information like that. We can go ahead and pull up the navigation in full screen. You have your phone right next to that, along with media. We can go into the seats here and control the temperature of the seats. Being heated or cooled, you have the option to do either, which is nice to see. We can go into the camera system now, and you can see it's on the rear view camera right now, along with parking sensors, which you can turn on and off just by pushing on this button right here. And then you can shut this screen off if you'd like to, just by pushing on it anywhere, it will turn it back up. We can scroll over to eco data and just take a look at that. You can see your average MPG along with your miles per hour, your distance. If we move underneath that now, you have some physical buttons for the AC. So we have the temperature for the driver on one side, along with some other sync buttons. You have the fan speed right in the center, and then you can adjust where you'd like the air to go. You'll also see it pop up on this screen too, so if you want to use the touch screen, you have the option to do that. And then you can easily go into the heated and cooled seats just by pushing on that button. So it's very nicely laid out. Just underneath that, we have the engine start stop button, along with the power and volume for the radio. Underneath that, we have a nice compartment here, so you can store your phone if you'd like to. And then right in the center, we have the gear selector. When the vehicle is off, this is nicely hidden away. And then when you start up the vehicle, it will pop up for you to use. If I just turn it once to the right, it'll go to the backup camera, so you'll see that angle as I just showed. And then we can go all the way over into drive. If we push it down and do it one more, we can go into sport mode and then go all the way back to park. Behind that, we have the engine start-stop feature along with traction control off and to the right side. And then right in the center, these are the different driving modes. So just by using both of these arrows here, we can go from dynamic mode, which it's currently in. We can go over to comfort. There's eco. And then the last one is rain, ice, and snow. So it's very nice to be able to toggle between any of those. Just behind that, we have a downhill assist control along with the electronic parking brake. And then there are two cup holders right in the center, which we can easily hide away. And then taking a look at the center armrest now, you'll see there's a good amount of room along with two USBs and a 12-volt finished off in leather with more of the stitching as well. And then as we make our way to the glove box, you have plenty of room for everything that needs to go there. Very nice Jaguar badge on the top section of it. We'll go ahead and take one last look at these seats. And then up top, as I mentioned earlier, this has the full panoramic sunroof. All of those controls are up in the center here, and on the back side, we have a sunglass holder. Hopping into the back seats now, there's definitely plenty of room for 3 people to be back here comfortably. I like that behind both front seats, you have this net here for extra storage space, and these are heated rear seats as well. So down in the center, you have 3 different controls for them, which is nice to see, along with a 12-volt and 2 USB ports. So you have the option to charge anything that you need to. As we take a look at the center pullout now here, of course you have the armrest and then 2 cup holders in there as well. One thing that I do like, these seats have a 40-20-40 split to them as well. So not only do you have that armrest in the center, but you can fold down the entire thing. So if you have anything that you want to go through the seats and you still have backseat passengers, you can easily do that. So that's very nice to see. And then as far as interior room goes, I'm 5'10". I have the front seat set at my height. I have a good amount of room in front of my knees and then 2 or 3 inches above my head. So you do have plenty of room. You can even recline these seats as well. There's a button down below on the side of the seat. And in order to fold down each of these side seats, you can fold the headrest down just by pushing this button on the side. And then grabbing this lever here, we can easily fold that seat down. So you have plenty of space into the back cargo area there. And now it's time to take a look at the rear trunk storage space. I can either use the button on the key fob, the one in the door, or just push the electronic button up underneath. And with that open, it reveals about 22 cubic feet of storage space. And with the seats down, obviously that gives you a lot more room. You can remove this cover if you need to, if you have any larger items. And you can even fold those those seats down. Just by pulling on this latch here, you'll see that one easily fold down. Same with the one on the passenger side. There's also a 12 volt on one side along with a dome light and a hook on both sides as well. And being the power liftgate, we can easily push this button on the back and it'll close up. So getting the F-Pace R-Sport out on the road now, the first thing that I want to go over is the general visibility. As I mentioned earlier, that rear glass is very steeply raked, so from the outside it looks pretty small, but from the inside I can easily see out of it. I have plenty of visibility through my rear view mirror, and then even looking over my left and right shoulder, the pillars in the back aren't too bulky, but I do like having that extra glass in the back storage area so you can easily see over your left and right shoulder. So visibility out of the rear isn't all that bad, and then obviously looking out of the front, you can easily see the pillars are pretty thin, but just putting a couple miles on the car so far, it drives very nice. Going over some of these bumps, as hopefully you can tell from the camera there, it's very smooth. It's absorbing them very well, and I do have it in dynamic right now, so everything is red on the gauge cluster. Let's go ahead and put it over into S mode. I'm going to use the paddle shifters here. We're going to downshift to third gear, just give it a little gas, and it gets up and moves just like that. Paddles are very responsive, and that power delivery is very smooth and quick, so you don't feel the shifts, but you're already up to the speed limit just like that. Checking out its handling now, coming around this sharp right turn, we're down into second gear. Just going normal speed, has plenty of power to get out of that turn. You're not going to be taking this on back mountain roads, but it carries its weight well and definitely has plenty of power. So going ahead and switching it into eco mode now, I'm going to give it a little bit of gas. You can instantly see the tach drop a good bit, and then just giving it some gas, you can definitely tell the throttle is limited just a little bit, and there's actually some more gauges that I can see pop up. There's a lot of green bars. I'm not exactly sure what those are, but I'm sure it's like your power output. As soon as I put my foot on the gas pedal, the pedal turned red, or the bar there turned red. So it's probably showing you how eco-friendly you're driving. I see on the brakes there, it turned to red a little bit just from slowing down a little bit faster than it would like you to see. So that's kind of cool. You have the option to do that if you want to monitor how you're driving and you want to keep all of those green while you're just driving very conservatively. So you have the option to do that if you want to. I'm going to put it back into, or go over to comfort now, so we can kind of see a difference between dynamic and comfort. Instantly, I see a huge difference from earlier when I said it was absorbing bumps very well. It's doing it a lot better. It wasn't harsh in dynamic mode, but it's definitely nice in comfort mode, so that's nice to see. But let's move on to the driving position, what it's like to be behind the wheel. It's very comfortable. I love these seats. They have aggressive bolsters to them, as I mentioned earlier. You can even adjust the front section of the seat. So there's a little button off into the side where you can move that forward towards the back of your knees. So if you want a little bit more comfort, you have the option to do that. And then talking about the layout of everything, all of the materials, I really like everything. There's leather on the steering wheel, you have it on the door panel there. It's even above the gauge cluster here on this nice piece there. And then you have a nice layout between the screens. There's a lot of information on your center gauge cluster there. And then it's very easy to go through this center screen here. You have all the information that you could possibly need. And then very nice buttons down below for your AC. So it's a very nice layout. And then one thing that I forgot to mention or show earlier is on both sides of the center here, there's a little bit of a pocket for the driver and the passenger. So if you want to put your phone or something small like that, you have a nice little hidden compartment. So that's nice to see, just a little bit extra storage space. But overall, this vehicle has plenty of storage space. Now that I'm talking about it, has plenty of storage space and a good amount of power there, even in the back seats there. So with the seats up, you have plenty of room. You can fold them down, put them in whatever configuration you're looking for. So you definitely have a lot of room. But I think that's going to wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive in the 2020 Jaguar F-Pace R-Sport. Once again, huge shout out to Jaguar, Land Rover, Porsche, Volvo of Greenville for providing this SUV for me today. Definitely check out their website. They have a huge selection of inventory that will be down in the description below. Also, don't forget, for this month, we are doing a gift card giveaway. All you have to do to be eligible to win is be a subscriber to the channel and comment on videos. At the end of this month, we're gonna pick the video with the most comments and pick a random winner from that video. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.